Last time out on the M4J Network, I brought trains back to the Mount Pleasant Railway, a quaint little narrow gauge heritage railway up in the mountains. Now I'm dialling the heritage movement up to 11 by building not one, not two, but 3 new heritage railways. Get ready for the return of the romance of steam. Hello everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to this very heavily delayed episode of the M4J Network here on openttd. Sorry about that. This episode was actually supposed to come out in, I think it was October it was originally slated for, but things happened. If you check out my Transport Fever 2 video, I think it was called a Return to Steam or something, Triumphant Return to Steam. Shameless self-promotion here, I know, but I explained there what happened. But basically I had to take some unplanned time off, and then when I came back I was all guns blazing on Planet Coaster 2 and Transport Fever and, well, Transport Fever 2, and this just sort of fell by the wayside. And I also wanted to get the how to master realistic scheduling tutorial video out first, because that references the Mount Pleasant Railway, which is what we're looking at here. This is Mount Pleasant. This is, oh, why did it have to be the Welsh one? I can't pronounce that, but you know what that is if you're Welsh or if you've climbed this mountain. There's Little Calf. Let's go look at Little Calf. That's a much easier name to say. There it is, climbing its way up the mountain. This works so well. The fact that these two trains here, this one here and this one here, will meet perfectly at Wreckby View right there. I have actually got these plazas here. I can't remember if I showed you this before, so that these actually accept and produce passengers. I've fallen into a tangent already. So yeah, the episode was delayed. Someone actually called me up on that, quite rightly so as well, so I apologise for that. But here we are. I can't promise that this will be the start of a long run of episodes. I have 2 planned. Hang on, let me just lean across because I always go quiet when I look into the other monitor here. Yeah, so I've got 2 more episodes definitely planned. I have other things that I would like to work on now that we're basically back. And yeah, there's other stuff going on too. Is this empty or full, this train? It is full. Nice. That's going to earn me a nice little bit of money. You might be able to see in the bottom corner here, I have reduced the amount of money that I had. It was in the billions. It's now in the millions. I think that makes it just a little bit easier as well. Hopefully I don't run out of money because that would be awkward. Do I talk about what I've got planned? I suppose I could talk about what I've got planned. Let's talk about this episode. Actually, let's talk about the other episodes first, and then we can segue nicely into this one. Can you tell I've not prepped much for this video? I think I've managed to style it out pretty well so far, but, you know, it probably haven't actually. But yeah, so next episode, it's quite a rare thing to talk about, what we're going to be doing next time at the start of this time. But next time we're going to be down here in Sanley. It's about time we got some heavy rail up and running again. We've been working with light rail and heritage rail and all that stuff, trams and whatnot, but now we're going to be working on heavy rail again. This here is Sanley Central. It's the biggest station in this region of the map. We are going to run trains on this, which is the Sanley Bay lines. So we're going to be heading up this way. We'll come back to that in a second. The first one we're going to do is round the horn here, down to Senley Harbour, which is already connected to the tram network, as is this station here, which is Lower Dockyards. They're both on the tram network, but this will just move passengers around a little bit quicker. Then we're going to put trains on this line, which runs up via Drondinghead East, which is going to get renamed because it sits on the south side. Nudhead West, which is on the right side. Fort Bintown, which I thought connected up to the tram, but it doesn't. Neither does this one over here at Readinghead, but this one at Dentfield is on the tram network, and then it splits in 2. One goes off that way, one comes down this way. Neither go to the airport, which I think is a little short-sighted on my part, but I think that was planned. It forces people to take the trams instead, which in my opinion is better. Do we have, I'm sure we have planes coming through here, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. They are full, I want to say. No. Do you have anything on board? Do you have anything on board? Yes. You have passengers on board. You also have passengers on board. And I think this is actually heading down this way, is it not? Yes, it is. Cool. We're going to work on planes at some point again in the future. There's quite a lot to do there. The episode after that, I want to start running trains in Guard City again, because we don't have any apart from the high speed, which is functional and is working really, really well. Again, huge thanks to Master Trams for helping me set that up. And actually a huge thanks to Master Trams in general, because a lot of what I'm going to be doing today is based on his advice and tutorials that he's given me and things like that. So, yeah, massive thanks for that. What I want to do the time after next time is the HLR, which is a hugely ambitious project, I admit. First thing I want to do is rebuild a TMD somewhere, probably down here, and get a big one set up, and then this will be probably the site for all of the trains, he says, in trepidation. I think so. We're going to redo these lines here as well, because we won't need these weird, stupid passing loop things. Excuse me, because everything will be timetabled. And then this can all get rebuilt and made to look less stupid. And yeah, it'll work a lot nicer. So I think down here will be the location for that. I might reconfigure it so it comes out this way, and then we'll have loads of storage tracks along here, looking out across the main line. But before we do all that, I want to work on heritage railways, which is why I started over here at the Mount Pleasant, which technically is and isn't a heritage railway. It is in the fact that it's steam operated. There are two trains just passing each other there. But it isn't in the fact that it is actually functioning like a working railway. So right now, Honley Market West is connected to Mount Pleasant via these stops along the way. And okay, it's like an hour to get to the top. But if you're willing to wait an hour, you can commute up here. And the fact that there is a hotel here that will get supplied with food and alcohol at some point. And there, I think there's a plaza or something up here as well that I placed somewhere. Maybe not actually, maybe the hotel did it. And then we got houses and things, and is that a petrol station? Nope. Thought that might be a functional one, but I guess not. I think there is a way. Okay, they're just generic industries as part of the tiles, which is fine. This accepts, yeah, passengers, mail, alcohol, food. So we will get mail up here as well. I think, do these trains carry mail? They do. Awesome. So that'll get sorted at some point. I do want to get trains to Sunnington as well at some point as well. Maybe on the West Winds. But the West Winds is operated by Master Trams. So that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about, is getting this game on a server. I still have no idea how to do that. If anyone has any advice whatsoever, please do let me know down below. The idea is to get this on a dedicated server where basically I don't have to touch it. The upside to that is it'll run 24/7. People all around the world can join. The downside is I don't know what will happen when everybody signs off, because I want this to operate as a 24-hour timetable. So I don't just want the game to pause when no one's online, but I also don't want, 700 trains to be queued up because something broke somewhere and the lines got blocked. So if anyone has any advice whatsoever on how to achieve that, I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, we're working on heritage railways today. So we're going to move away from the Mount Pleasant in just a second. I have notes on my phone. That's how prepared I actually am for this part of the video. There are four heritage lines that I want to get running today, if possible. There are two that already exist, and then there is one that I'm going to build from scratch, and then there's another one that I think is worth doing. So the plan is to get at least 3 up and running, if not a 4th one. But I'm already sounding wishy-washy and questioning myself, and the reason is, if I open up this, I'm looking for in Venningston-on-Sea, which I'm going to guess is under I. In Venningston-on-Sea. There. This is the first one. You can already see the problem. This is just a main line down here, and then we've got this heritage railway connected to it, which I don't like. I think I've made no secret of this in the past, that I've kind of rushed builds on here to try and get videos out and things like that, and this was definitely one of them. I knew I wanted to build a heritage railway. I had no idea where, and I ended up rushing it, and it came out a bit shit, to be honest. So this end, up here at Sedingbury, I'm going to keep. Because I think this is a good place for a heritage railway. This station here at Renham, the temptation is just to remove it. Get rid of it. We don't need it. I'm also actually very tempted to... What's this down here? Oh, I know what you are. Yeah. You're on the line out of Bar City. Yes. Heading to the south coast. Okay. So my temptation here then is to redo this entirely and have just a little heritage railway that runs from here along this way up to somewhere over here, or maybe even over here. That's not the worst idea. Maybe get 2 train operation on it or something like that. We'll see. So that's one plan. The other plan is Padstow South. So again, we'll open this up. We'll scroll down. PPA, PA. Oh god, I've got so many stations. 3,170. Whew. Padstow. Our running shed will do. There we go. So this one, assuming that is Padstow South, it is. We'll pin you as well. This one is a completely different line. It runs out and around the lake this way. And across through this area here. Up into the hills. I think that depot was when I got rid of all the trains. And then it terminates over here at Fort Flonston Old Town. I like this line. I think this line is going to remain as is. However, we are going to rebuild some of it. So let's start with this one, and then we can work backwards. So the first thing I want to do is rebuild this like this. I then want to change the landscape here to match. Bit like that. And a bit like, we'll just dig it out like that. There we go. Oops. That was a mistake. There. Cool. I might as well pin this up here as well because I think we're going to be using it a lot. The other thing I want to do is, I like the idea of this station being on a passing loop. This is what? Little Slintford Harbour. We don't need a passing loop here, so I'm going to remove this one, including the signal. I think actually we're going to redo this completely and just have it run more along the coast. This will be a really good tourist railway, which is kind of the point of heritage railways. They're in locations that might not have been economically viable for something like BR, but in terms of, you know, people going to the seaside and things, they're in a really good area. So let's build this back in. I did not want to do it like that. Like so. Excellent. And then all of this bit, that station there is fine. This town doesn't have a station, but maybe we'll put a request stop or something there. Why do I have 2 stations right next to each other here? I have no idea why I did that. What I'm going to do then is remove that one. Yeah, that's really odd. I don't know why I did that. Okay. And actually, I'm tempted to make this the new terminus. So if I was to bulldoze my way through here, like so, again, there's a lot of people that don't like me bulldozing. I don't like me bulldozing, to be honest, but sometimes it has to be done. We're then going to remove all of this station here, and then we're going to remove all of these tracks. So I guess I need to remove these waypoints as well. There's depots and all sorts going on here. Wow. Then we're going to remove all of this, including the bridge, all of this, and all of this. So sorry, this town. I don't know what town you are because my right click thing doesn't work anymore. You are no longer on the network. I need the picker tool. BR station single-sided platforms. There we go. Maybe I'll build the new one in actually before I try and get rid of the old one. Yeah, I thought that would happen. So I need to get the town names up. Town names displayed. Bunningville, who... This could go very wrong. Ah, no. Okay, trees. There we go. Whew. I'm so glad that feature exists. Otherwise, we'd be dead on arrival before we even started. Here. So you're going to be... Yeah, Bunningville North. But I'm going to rename it Bunningville Lakeside. Actually... Whoops. Pause. Might as well just call it Bunningville Lakeside from the get-go. There we go. And then we can get rid of this one. Like so. And what do we want this to look like? I think this. And then, excuse me, a couple of these. And then one of these. And then on the other side, one of those. Couple of those. And a couple of these. There we are. So that is going to come across like that. That is going to go in there like that. And then that's going to go there like that. We're going to put some semaphores. One there, one there. Just before the level crossing. Lovely. As for the running shed, I think that could go somewhere over here. Because they can be in the town, but not necessarily... part of the actual station. One example I'm thinking of, and I always get these mixed up, is it Gromont on the North York Moors Railway, where the depot, if you can call it a depot, is on the other side of the hill, and there's a pair of tracks that go through a tunnel to get to it. I need shed. That one. There we go. That's the one that springs to mind, but I know there are others. Let's just do that. And then we'll put a dead end on it like that. I don't think we need anything more detailed than that, to be honest. That's pretty damn good. I'm really tempted to put shunt signals here just so you can't actually see them. Like so. And then I do still need an actual shed to come off this so that they can get maintained at the end of the day. So I'm going to do it like this. How long does this need to be? That's a good question. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I don't even need to build it like that. Nope, that's stupid. So I'm going to build this one. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to build it there. And then I'm going to have this there. And then I believe it's this one. Nope. This one. Nope. Are these all the same? That one. Ah, hang on then. I think then it's going to be this one. Whoops. That's part of the problem as well. Yep. It's going to be this one. Remove this track. That's where depot is going to go. Yep, like so. And then it will be these ones. Which one? Yeah, woods. There we go. Cool. So now this can be renamed sheds. Like so. This station down here can be renamed... Actually, no, that your name is fine. Wait, are you the wrong... Yeah, you're Drooningville. You're supposed to be... Actually, why are you Bintbridge? Oh, you're over there. Oh, that's wrong. Whoops. Okay, guess which station here's getting renamed and rebuilt. Actually, no, I can't because they're going to hate me. That's annoying. Right, bear with. Do this again. That's very annoying. What was it? It was this one. So you were north, like so. Where's the one I've got selected? That one. And then it was 2 of those, 2 of those. You are actually 3 of those. You are this one, and then you are that and that. And I am going to have to do a little bit of terraforming here. I say terraforming, you know what I mean, landscaping. Someone called me up on that once as well, and they're absolutely right. Terraforming to me sounds like making like Earth or moving Earth, but apparently what it actually means is what I originally said, making like Earth. So if you went to Mars and tried to make the conditions livable, I'm not even going to try and say habitable, even though I just said it, like Earth, that's terraforming, because it's creating like Earth. Whereas if you just move some Earth on Earth, you are landscaping. There you go. Today you learned, just as I did. Do we have... What are those buffers? I don't think we have BR stations buffers, which is fine. I don't mind that. But yeah, this is now our hub of operations here at Bunningville. So we're just going to call this Bunningville Lake. I can't remember what I was doing. What was I doing? I was renaming something. This. So you are Shedder single. You are going to be Sheds plural. There we are. Get rid of those. I'm actually going to close this window for now. I need to get my list up again. So we're currently working on what was the Padston South one, I believe. Is that correct? Yes. But you are now Bunningville Lake, so I need to change that. Bunningville Lake. So he's come up with names for these railways as well, which is going to be interesting. Right, put the phone down. There we go. So, railway's going to come out of here, round the lake, stops at Bintbridge City, comes up here to Little Slintford, where I imagine they're going to cross, and then carries on this way to Great Budston Woods. We can rename that as well. Just call it Great Budston, to be honest. That works. And then up into the hills here. We could do with another station with a passing loop somewhere around here, because Fort Flonston there is the end. We got 2 stations in Fort Flonston, and I don't think we need 2 stations in Fort Flonston. So I think here I am actually going to rebuild this passing loop, but I'm going to put it here, and we're going to have, what was it, Cook Lane. So I need you to go there. Cook Street, sorry, not Cook Lane. And then yeah, like that. And then this one like that. And then you there and you there. And in theory, that's now a passing loop. Now we could extend out these platforms here a little bit more, and I'm tempted to do that. We don't need waypoints or anything like that. We're not going to be that clever like we were with Mount Pleasant. We're just going to go with something like this and this, and then we can just put some simple shelters in there and there, I guess. Barrow crossings is how you get from one platform to the other, in case anyone's wondering. Barrow crossings. Right. Get rid of that one now. So you're going to come out of Fort Flonston. We only need 1 head shunt here. But we do need to extend this out a little bit further. Like so, just for shunt signals. You might wonder why I need to put these in. The answer is quite simple. If a train comes through here, it will reserve the path through, which means that another train can't actually enter the other platform unless there are two signals here just to protect it. One would probably suffice because it will just go into the other platform then, but it makes life a little bit easier for me. Right, we're also going to get rid of these waypoints because we don't need those anymore. We are going to put definitely one there. That might be the only one we need, to be honest. And then we are going to come up to the other end of the line again, over here, which is not the right station anymore. I was just looking at that then, like, why is it doing that? So that's going to go there. We need to grab this one. We need to share orders. Actually, before I do anything else, just repin that. We need to share orders with the one up here. One other project I'm working on, just thinking of a good way to do it, is to downsize a lot of these towns and make them a lot smaller, because right now it is insane how stupidly large some of these are. If entry direction is from the front, then speed restriction, let's say 5, because we're going into terminus stations. Some of these towns are huge, and this is a heritage railway. They're supposed to like serve small villages and stuff. So to have a town, actually 9,000 is pretty realistic, I would say. Most of these ones are actually 15,000 is quite big. Yeah. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. This one, I'm going to copy this one rather than clone it, or share it, I should say, and say that if on this one current order is this, then set to 5. I could say else go up to 25, but I think actually 25, yeah, 25 around here is probably better. So I'm going to say if current order is not this, then speed restriction, excuse me, 25. Okie dokie. So it's going to be 25 all the way along here. At these points here, it's going to drop down again. So we're going to put one there like that and one there like that. We're going to close all of these. You are going to share with you. And here we're going to say if entry direction is from the back, then speed restriction is 25. If it's from the front, then it's going to be 10. I think that's going to be the same with all of our passing loops here. So this one up in the hills here is going to be the same as well. So we're going to put you there. I'm going to put you there. And then you and you. You're going to copy from that one. You're going to share with that one. There we go. And then somewhere out of town up here, probably like here, we're going to copy this one, but we're going to say from the back is 25 and from the front is 15. Though I'm actually tempted to make it 10 when it's snaking its way around the town like this. No, 15. 15. Stop questioning yourself, Mark. Okay, and then yeah, it properly accelerates up here, which is going to sound really awesome. Now I believe here we are on the east coast. Yes, we are. So this is going to be an LNER themed heritage railway, which, thanks to the excellent work of the BR Trains team, is now something that's very much possible. So I'm going to just straighten up this track here a little bit. We're going to tidy this up a little bit more as well. There we go. We might as well tidy that bit up too. Yeah, I really like the idea of it following the lake here. I think this is going to be the Lakeside Railway or something like that. Just for the fact that there's so much water here. And it does curve around the lake quite nicely at the end here. So I think this is going to be, as I said, an LNER themed railway. So if I open this, I have a lot of trains here that I need to hide still. But we can get out, what's LNER here? Or at least Great Northern Railway or Great Eastern Railway. So we've got the J70 here, which has a max speed of 30. That might be our datum train, actually, is one of these. We could do some cross stuff, like we can have a Jubilee or a Black 5. I mean, every heritage railway has to have a Black 5. That's basically the law. A little Gronk for shunting around the yard. This won't haul revenue trains. Any other... What are we in? 1994, I think now this network is set. So we need to do... I mean, a Deltic maybe... Yeah, or 47 definitely. Okay, I'm going to get out the J70 here. And we're going to give it a couple of coaches. Again, where's BR trains? Right down the bottom. Oh, I thought that was steam loco then. We need passengers, and what would these have hauled? 50-foot semi-corridor. That's Great Central. Yeah, it doesn't really work. Don't need Coronation. I mean, look at all these coach options now as well. It's very impressive. We've got the Mark 5s here. I think that's the wrong... Yeah, I don't think they have an introductory date, because that's definitely not 90s. Stania... Go with some Gresleys maybe. I kind of fancy this one, though, just because it's quite small and simple. So we're going to grab a couple of those, and then... Do we have anything in the mail option? We have an LNER Gresley parcels van. Okay. Mail, BR Maroon. That kind of fits. Maybe we'll just do the passenger for now. So what's your capacity? 80. That's very small. Do you know what then? Maybe we won't use the J70. We'll go with something a bit more... I meant to get that one. Oh, an N7. I didn't see that. There you go. An N7. And we'll have the N7 hauling some teak carriages. So that's 48 Thompson maybe? We could still go with... Oh, here we go. I'm not looking properly. Gresley coach. We'll go with a couple of these. I feel like I'm still not looking properly. What's your capacity now? 120. Am I being blind? So that's a third corridor, but it hasn't got the right sprite. Oh, it has got the right sprite. It just hasn't got the right sprite there. Okay, so we'll go with a couple of third corridors. 3 of them, and then a brake composite, and that should be a capacity of, yeah, that's pretty decent. Can I change the color of the loco? LNER apple green. Ah, perfect. Yep, it's like it was made for this. Right, I need to remember how to do this now. So I need to go down here, I think. Hang on. I think I've got my depot facing the wrong way, which is part of the problem. How did I do it over at Blue Lagoon? Oh no, this is facing the same way. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. So here and here. And then here. And then in amongst all this, there, over here, and then there, up into the hills. Cool. And then there, and there. Now, if I recall, the way this works is 1 minute stops at each of these, although that's not as important right now. The really important bit is the speed limits. So it's going to be 25 on all of those, except in and out of the depot, it's always forced 5. Might even be slower than that. I think 2 is like the absolute slowest. And I also forgot to change this to service if needed, this to no loading, no unloading, this one to no loading, no unloading, and this one to I think it's that, and then nope, it's not that. Is it unload and leave empty? Yeah, and then I hit it again, no loading. Okay, I could have just set that up the other way. In terms of this now then, I might just do 1 minute times on all of these just to get the... This is our timing train that I'm setting up right now. So now I'm going to hit autofill. And then this should be ready to go. All being... well, oh crap. That was dumb. All being well, this is ready to go. So I'm going to set this on its way. We're going to get the timings, and I'm just looking at how long this has taken to do so far, and already I'm like, it's going to be a long episode. It's going to be a very long episode. I might just say if it's an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half, but I'm really tempted to split this into 2 videos, but I don't want to keep people waiting for the second part. So yeah, I'm going to set this off. I'm going to grab all the timings. I'm probably going to create the timetable and then create the rest of the trains as well. I think we can have 4 running on this, which is going to mean a redesign of this because we've only got 3 berths in this shed, but we can make that work quite easily. If I was to do this and this and whoops, not that one, that one, we'll remove that one, and then remove that one, and then remove that one, of course. There we go. So I think we're going to have like 1 signature train, which is going to be this long one here, and then a couple of shorter trains, and then like a medium length train. So yeah, let's get this going, and then I'll be back in a minute, hopefully with a full roster of trains running. We have trains running! Look at this! We have this little diesel loco here. It's been 3 days? 4 days since the last section. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my microphone. I've got the world's creakiest mic stand. There we go. That totally would have been picked up by the microphone as well because it sod's law, isn't it? Yeah, we're over here at Bunningville Lake. I need to make my UI bigger because otherwise you lovely folks on mobile won't be able to see it. There we go. I'm also now in the middle of the sea. There we go. So, yeah, what have I done? This took a long time. This took a very long time. But we've got 5 shed berths here now. We've got the shed over here. This is all stuff that I built before, although I expanded it twice, I believe, since then. The station over here now at Bunningville Lake is 3 platforms instead of the original 2. The reason being is I've got 3 trains operating on this line, so it's just in case something goes wrong, they can all sit in the platforms here, because previously I tried to have 4 trains running on the line, and we had 1 waiting at the signal here, which just caused lots of problems. Let me introduce you to the fleet. If I check the departure board here, we have D5817, which is sat in the platform here already. This is a Class 31, which apparently has the nickname Gurgler. That's something I wasn't familiar with, but there we go. We've also got 4 BR Mark 1 coaches in BR Blue and Grey, and then 2 in the old blood and custard livery. Livery? Is that the right word? Paint job, whatever you want to call it. Whatever. Then we have 69621, which is this one here. This is actually the OG. The first train that we ran here. It is an LNER Class N7, also known as the Great Eastern Railway Hill Class L77. Try saying that 6 times. This is in the lovely LNER Apple Green. And yeah, it's part of the fleet here. I've completely forgot what I was going to say then. That's good, isn't it? Very professional, Mark. Then we've also got 60847. This is an LNER Gresley Class V2. I believe... Is it Green Arrow? Is it V2? LNER V2. I think Green Arrow is a V2. Preservation. Yeah, Green Arrow. This obviously is not Green Arrow. This is a different loco. More on that in just a second. And then we have... Where is it? Nope, that's the one. I'm just going to find it over here because I know where it is. We have this train here, which is 75006. Now, this is an austerity. Every heritage railway in the country has to have an austerity. It's basically the law. All of these then run the service here. 3 every day. Because of the way that the timetable works, I won't show you the timetable. It's very complicated again. But we end up with 3 trains needed per day with 4 trains in total. But the last 2 trains of the day, I think, are trains 1 and 2 again, which means train 3 doesn't get run. So that rolls over and becomes train 1 for the next day, or train 2 technically for the next day. And that's how we get that randomness that I was talking about in the last tutorial video that I made. One other thing, you notice that all of these trains have numbers, or at least the locos have numbers. These are real numbers based on real members of their respective classes. So there was a... I've forgotten what it's called already. There was an N7 with the BR number 69621. And I've put the H in brackets there just in case. I think there is a real life class 69. But it's quite a modern loco if I'm not mistaken. So... chances of them of us having 2 69s is quite rare, especially a 69621, but it may happen. Likewise with this, there is a real life class 60, so I've made sure that there's an H in brackets as well. And that just means heritage, basically steam locomotive. We won't have that problem with this D5817 because it's running its old style number before the TOPS system was introduced. Yeah, so that's that. I've ticked it off on my list. We're now going to head over to the second heritage railway of this episode, believe it or not. We're going to do all of this again. So if I open up the old station list here, we are heading down to Inveningston-on-Sea, which I think I've already shown in this. Again, it's been a while since I recorded the first part of this video. Yes, this is... what we're going to do. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I will go back and show it off in just a second. I'm just looking at that. Yeah, I don't like any of this. I think we might actually skip this one because the next part of this video is building 2 new lines. I think that's something I'm a little more interested in right now. If I head back over to the railway, where is it? That's a good question. It is somewhere. Is it further north? Yeah. Wow, I hadn't actually realised where it was on the map. The way this railway works then, we have 2 departure slots per hour from this station. One at 14 minutes past the hour, one at 46 minutes past the hour. Or in other words, 14 minutes to the next hour. I just realised that's a nice little echo. Trains run 32 minutes apart from both ends. The meeting points are here at Little Slintford Harbour and up here at Cook Street. Every train should cross another train. There you go. These 2 have just crossed on their way. So every train will cross... Sorry, let me try that again. Every train will cross both other trains on its journey. So this one has already passed the V2. It will pass the diesel at Little Sintford. Slintford, sorry. Every station has a 2-minute stop time, except for... Actually, I've done the exception proves the rule thing again. Down here it's 15 minutes, but I think it's actually 18 minutes. But it's timetabled for 15 minutes. Up here it's 2 minutes. Here it's 5. Then it's 2 here again. Then it's 5. And then it's, I think, 18 at Fort Flonston as well. How they still don't like me is beyond me. I've also done a little bit of decoration over here and made it look a little bit nicer. I've actually done something similar over here. You might notice this station looks a little bit different to how it did before as well. And I built some roads and things like that, and it just made it look a little bit more like it's been here for longer than 5 minutes. Completely forgotten what I was going to say now. Yeah, there's passing places, and the timetable actually worked out quite well. I didn't have to do that much changing to get it to actually cross. But to have the trains have an equal stop time at both ends, and also, there's been other complications I'll talk about in a second, but it was more of a challenge than I remember it being, but at the same time it was less of an issue than I thought it was going to be, until I started running the trains again. And for some reason, I worked out 3 trains would be more than enough to run this schedule. It would all work. When I actually started this on the game, it was asking for 5 trains, then it asked for 4, and then at one point it was just skipping departures. So if I open this here, you will see all the way down to the end of the day, the last departure is 17:14 here. You see every slot's occupied now, and it goes into the next day as well. In fact, you can already see there's one missing. 10:14 is missing, and that was what it was doing. It was like skipping every 3rd or 4th order. Really, really weird. And even with 4-train operation, it was still skipping slots. I don't know. Anyway, I'm now going over to Grindhead, which I think is already on this list. Scroll down. Grindtown. Grindhead. There it is. Oh, yeah. I think I remember this. This is the terminus of the Bath City commuter branch. I think, or one of them. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, no, yeah. Sorry, it is. It absolutely is. Somewhere on here, I have a plan list that's called... Let me see if I can find it. There we go. The Rex line. Now, this is because of a YouTube member, Mr. G95, who joined back in, I want to say like August or September. And we had a chat, and one of the perks that he wanted was I think it was just a train that was named after his son Rex, and I decided to go one step further and actually have this be a full railway named the Rex line. So that's what we're going to build now. So it's a branch line, it's called the Rex line, and it will look something a little bit like this. Here we go then, the Rex line. Absolutely awesome looking, if I do say so myself. We do still need to we still need to build a shed. I think I know where that's going to go. I'm also just going to replace this here with a wider bridge, just so that we can open up some waterways in the future. I don't know what it is about heritage railways. I just feel like they look so much better alongside water. So you can see this one basically follows a river for its entire course. This river here is going to come down to this lake. In fact, I might as well just do that very quickly here as well. If I can get this to come out like this. Yes. Yes, I can. And then we'll do this, and then this can come down this way. We'll quickly fill in that section there as well. And then, yeah, this will come down across like this, and then this will come down across like this. And then down like so, and then I think pretty much a straight shot. If I just, I'm going to remove this, I think, and just have it come one step further here, and then all of this one straight line, like so. Lovely. I like that a lot. So we've got, is it 4 stations along this route? 5 stations. We've got Grindhead. We've got this one here, which is Nunnington. That might get a rename. Then we've got this one here at Pronton Woods. That's definitely going to get a rename. We've got the passing loop here at Dreadwood West. And then we have the terminus, which is over here at Proofingwell Manor. These stations are probably going to get renamed off camera. You don't need to worry about that. There's also going to be buildings and stuff here. In fact, this road already, I want to do this, that. And then we'll put this bridge back in. It will look something a little more like that. This one here, I'm also going to redo to make it look... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to redo that one. I'm not going to touch it. No one saw me do anything to that bridge, okay? Not a thing. I am, though, going to... see, I do kind of want to rebuild that bridge. I didn't know local authorities could stop you doing bridges anyway. That's weird. But yeah, I'm going to put another bridge in here, just so that there's a little loop. One thing I will be doing, because you'll notice that these stations are built outside of town in some cases, I will be connecting these with bus lines at some point in the future. That might be an off-camera job as well. But the Rex line is ready to go. So I just need to build the shed here, and then we can start looking at where the of what the trains are going to look like. Sorry, there we go. Get my words right eventually. So this is going to be a 2-train operation, maximum of 2-train operation, and because of that, we only need a shed berth really that's 3 tracks wide. So I'm going to do something like this and something like this, and this is going to be our shed, like this. Now, if I was to build shunt signals across here, here, and here, that gives you an idea as to how long these are going to be. So I think it should be 3 tracks here. This one is going to be 5. Actually, it's not. It's going to be 4. You'll see why in just a second. So if I do shed, and then we'll go with this one here. I'm going to build that out like that. We're then going to build this one 4. And even though the whole building is going to be the same size, it's going to look like this. There we go. And the other thing I need to do, which actually is going to make this one need to be one longer anyway. Because what I'm going to do here is build a crossover in that direction. And then this is going to be the site of our actual depot proper, which is going to go like that. So you are going to go there like that, and then we're going to build one of, is it this type? Nope. Which one of these is it? That one. Yeah, that one. Okie dokie. So this is going to be Grindhead running sheds. And then this one is just going to be Grindhead sheds, which is never going to be used. It's not functional, which is fine. I'm also going to put a shunt signal here, and that's going to slow the trains down to cross over into this. Now, on the other line, I had this slow them down to 5 miles an hour, and then that's the speed they stayed. But for this one, what I'm going to do is have if entry direction is from the back, then speed restriction is going to be 5. If entry direction is from the front, then speed is going to be 10. And we're going to have that basically across, all of this. So these as well. Although saying that, I'm going to put another one there. And I'm basically going to copy that, but swap it round. So you're going to be 10, and you're going to be 5. And then this one is going to copy from that one, except this one here is going to be 25 and this one is going to be 10. Okay, I think I've got this all in check. And then these are also going to copy from this. No, they're not actually. These ones we don't need anything. Yeah, because this, we're going to say if entry is from the front, then if current order is that, then slow down. If not, keep it at 10 until it hits that signal and gets sped up again. That's what we're going to do. That makes way more sense. I'm also going to scooch over here. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. I need this to fall back. 1, 2, 3. Technically, yeah, I can actually achieve that. So let's pick a tool. This. You need to move back to there. The other side, which is what that one, needs to move back to there. We need to get rid of that one and that one. That now needs to move to there. That needs to move to there, so that one can go opposite, and then this one needs to go there. There we go. Much better. The reason I'm doing this is so I can build the signal this side of the river, so we don't slow trains down too much to cross over. There we are. So shunt signal, you go there, that one goes there, and then these can share with each other, which is, well, it makes my life a lot easier. If entry direction is from the front, yep. Oh no, sorry, it's from the back. Then speed restriction is 25. If entry direction is from the front, then speed restriction 10. Seems to be my thing with Heritage Railways. Just always have it as 10 miles an hour for the crossovers. I think that's fine, to be honest. I think that's pretty much how it goes everywhere. And then over here, we're going to do that. In fact, this can share with that one. From the back, 25. From the front, 10. Nice. Yeah, this is looking really cool. I think we're ready to actually get the test train out. I don't think there's anything else that needs doing. There's one other thing that I probably should do, and this is a lesson I learned from the other railway as well, which I think messed up some of my timings. Always do this if you're planning on running realistic operations. Always have your first set of signals here. If entry direction is from the back, speed restriction 5, because to my knowledge they come out of the depot with no speed restriction, so this makes sure that they do in fact have one, and then all the rest here, yeah, it's all fine and dandy at that point. Now I suppose one other thing I need to do is get these to copy as well. So what I'm going to do is copy from that one and then share with that one. There we go. Now it's all set up and ready to go. See, I'm remembering these things now. This is a really nice little line. Eventually, when commuter trains come out from Bar City to here, this will be a very popular little tourist railway, I imagine. So, what's Rex going to be? Because Rex is going to be our timing train as well. Originally, I wanted a little Ginty or something like that, which is still possible, I suppose. Where are we? We're up on the east coast, aren't we? Yeah, we're actually not that far away, I don't think, from... Yeah, there's Bunningville, and so there's the other railway over here. So we're actually not that far away at all. So we could go with another Eastern region-inspired railway. But I think for this one, as I said, I was going to use a little Ginty or something, but we don't actually have a little Ginty or something. Not in this pack anyway, because I'm going to try and use the BR Trains set, which doesn't have a huge amount of oldie steam locos. It looks like there's a lot, But in terms of like, there's no panniers, there's no ginties, there's no 1400s. What else? There's no auto trains or anything like that. But I think we might go with this, which is the opposite of the Eastern. This is the Western. LNWR Web Coal Tank 062. I think this could be a good candidate. The other option I was going to go for was the J70, which we were looking at earlier. But, the only reason that the... not the single, where are they? The only reason that... Actually, we could go with this one. As a loco, maybe. Let's go with that one. I like that one. Yeah, the only reason that the K2 and the J70 are actually in this pack, and maybe even the N7 as well, is because there's a spin-off of BR Trains, which is the Thomas the Tank Engine set, and they've been used for James, Toby, and I believe Thomas, respectively. So, yeah, a little bit of history there for you. I'm just going to use this one, the Adams 415. Let's see. We need some carriages for this as well. I'm going to keep it simple here, I think. We'll go with maybe some GCR ones. We could go with just a couple of Mark 1s as well, actually. Like a standard open, a tourist standard open, and a brake standard open. What's that one? Mini buffet. No, we don't have buffets here. We're not that well off. So that's 1.7. That could do it, actually. That could do it. Should we paint these? Actually, could we paint the loco? Oops, didn't mean to close that. Oh, no, it's only got sage green. That's fine. In terms of this, then, we could go with, like, maroon or carmine and cream, it calls it here. But I think it is blood and custard is its unofficial name. I'm going to stop messing around and just get on with this, because I feel like that's what we all... wants to see. Service if needed. These are going to be no unloading, no loading. No loading, no unloading. This here, no loading. And then we'll get on with this. So it's going to be that. I've missed one. Yeah, there. What's going to be interesting here is the fact that trains are going to cross very close to the end of the route. So timetabling this is going to be very, very different to what I'm used to doing. But I think that's going to be nothing but a good thing. So we'll see how this goes. Right. All of this, 1 minute to start with. All of these, 25 miles an hour, except for down here where it's going to be 5 there and 5 there. Autofill. Now the other interesting thing is I'm going to be swapping this file in a second from my desktop to my laptop, because I always like to run it while I'm able to sit and watch it in case something goes wrong. So just realised I can snip across there like that. I love these lakeside stations, they look so cool. This could be a nice little bus stop area with people coming in from all these towns. Be very interesting. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go away and get all this going, and then I will see you on the other side. This one was a lot easier. Very, very simple. We've got 3 trains shuttling backwards and forwards between here at Grindhead and the other end of the line. They depart... I was supposed to get the departure window open there. Oh, yeah. You're nailing this one, Mark. It's like you've never been away. Here we go. So the Rex line has that many departures, I believe. Yeah, in fact, they're all on the screen there. But this is the next day's here. So it's that many departures per day to Proofingwell Docklands. I have also... I don't think I've made any changes on the line itself. Maybe a couple of like detail changes. But over here... I've taken this down to 1 platform because there's no point in having 2. Doesn't need 2. But we've still got the run round loop in place, which I think looks really, really cool. And again, same number of departures on this side. I really like this. I think this one works really, really well. And poor old Rex here is actually in the shed at the moment because he's on the... or she. It's weird having a engine with a male name but referred to as she, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, Rex is on the next day's duties, where it will be operating with this one, I think, which again, these are based on real numbers for the class. So we've got this one here is a web coal tank, and this one here is, of course, an austerity. Hopefully more austerity liveries will become available in the future, but I'm not going to complain because the fact that we even have an austerity is ostentatious. That's probably not the right use of that word either, but there we go. Right, so that's the second one done. Believe it or not, I'm actually aiming to get one more line built in this episode, which is over at Wanwell, apparently. Do I have a station at Wanwell? I don't think I do. I'll be surprised if I do. Let's put it that way. W-A-N... Yes, I don't. Cool. So I need to go find Wanwell, which is on the town directory. Wanwell. There it is. And I think I have a plan for this one as well. Yeah, the Twin Docks line. Again, we've got to have a heritage railway that runs near water. It's going to be very confusing. So it's Sunhattan up here, down to Wanwell here. However, I think I might actually extend this one slightly. This is going to be a Premier League heritage line. So if you don't know what those are, it's things like the Severn Valley, the West Somerset, the Great Central, quick name another mark, North York Moors, the big heavy hitters where it's long running, big locos, huge crowd drawers. Bluebell, I think, is on that list as well. It's kind of hard to rate them these days because there's a lot of smaller heritage railways that are arguably just as good as the big ones. But this is going to be one of those. So it's going to be very much based on the Great Central, but also a little bit of the Churnet Valley. So down here, this is going to be an absolute terminus. Right on the docks here. Probably 3, maybe 4 platforms. Quite simple. This section here will be double track. Pretty much all of it down to Wanwell. And originally that was going to be the end of it. And it wasn't going to be double track, it was going to be single track. But having now looked at it, I think from Wanwell, we could split this line. So there will be a double track main line that will continue this way, probably around the lake, terminating somewhere. There's an airport there. How long's there been an airport there? I do not remember building that, but that needs eye candy and all that stuff. So maybe we'll avoid that. The other line will be a single track branch line and will probably just snake its way up this way to somewhere like Romford. The actual temptation is to have the double track carry on straight and the single track come down this way. And this is based on what the Churnet Valley have got now, where they've actually got a line to Leek, which goes straight on, and then another line that goes... Can't remember the name of the place now, but it curves off to the I want to say east, and then north is Leek, east is this other place. I think it's right, and it begins with I, and I can't remember what it's called, and the time it will take me to look it up isn't really worth it. If you live near the Churnet Valley Railway, please let me know in the comments down below what the name of that station is, because I am dying to know. Stations here will also be a bit more spread out. So from Sunhattan, there's probably going to be nothing through here. The next stop will be Wundingham, and then down here to Danville. And what I really wanted when I was planning out this line was a big climb up and over the hills, but I think I decided to go round them instead, because we could have just charged straight through this and come down at Wanwell, but we've not done that. So I think this is going to be another time lapse of me just going ahead and building this, at least up to Wanwell. If I do continue, you'll see where this other single track line will go. There'll be a passing loop somewhere. I don't think it's actually going to stop at any of these towns here. I think we will just skirt the lake, maybe even bridge over some of it, and probably head down. In fact, heading this way to Teaburg Springs might be a good way to go. Now I've looked at that, and maybe do have a passing loop at like Sartburg or something. That's not a bad idea. And then the double track will carry on this way. Maybe have a station here and a station somewhere else around this area. And this could actually connect up with the main line here, because this line is also going to be designed excuse me, for rail tours. I want trains. Where are we on the map, by the way? We're down near the south coast. So if we head up this way... Oh, is that Queen City? That's Queen City. Okay, this could work out better than I thought. If we connect up in this direction, over here, maybe have a terminus up here at Fretford, then maybe connect to this junction and then have the actual Heritage Railway continue over to here. That's not a bad plan. The idea then being that rail tours from somewhere like Guard City can come down here onto this line and then onto the Heritage line and then run all the way through up to Sunhattan. And considering if I just where's a good one to... Let's have Sunhattan just pin there for a second so I can find my way back again. If I have my memory serving me well, this connects up, yes it does, to Munfingford Paragon, and the current only rail tour platform on the entire network is over here at Guard City St. Peter. It's this one here, this long one. So rail tours will be able to come out of here, follow the main line here, which goes all the way around, we don't need to do the whole journey, to Munfingford, which is down here. Now at this point it might be a little bit tricky. We might have to do some jiggery pokery to get it to come this way through into Munfingford. Either that, or if we build another connection in the future, because there's another section of line, yeah, this one here, yeah, which could have a line that goes across. It's not really to worry about right now, but it's something that was on my mind just having seen that, and then it can run onto the Heritage line. Anyway, I'm wasting time. Let's get on with this, shall we? So first thing we're going to do, build a big station over here, maybe with a motive power depot here as well. And then we will get to work on building this line all the way around to Wanwell. And to be honest, I think I will continue this line now as well. So we'll have one branch go up to Fretford and one branch head over here to Teaberg Springs. Let's do it. Alright, there we are. All done. So, let me talk you through the line. First of all, let me just move my very creaky mic stand again. There we go. It's almost like I shouldn't tuck it away whilst I'm not using it. Okay, so we have this main station here, Sunhattan Town. Next to it, we have Sunhattan Running Sheds. Behind that, we have Sunhattan Roundhouse. The Roundhouse won't be in use, but these running sheds will be. And I'm already thinking that I need to just chop that back a little bit because I think this will look nicer. If this line here looked a little more, whoops, like that. There we are. So I'm just going to do that. Oh, that's not going to let me do that, but that's fine. This side of the line, we have another set of sheds, gunning head sheds. These are still part of the line. We've also got this turnback siding here. That will be in use for any trains that use these sheds. They'll come out of the station here into this siding and then reverse into the sheds. And also for rail tours, they'll reverse out probably into maybe even just this long shed and sit there for the day and then come back in the evening for the return trip. Coming out of here then, we've got this double track main line. As you saw, this is a main line all the way. Now, it was going to originally go into a single track somewhere near the end, but I decided why not just make it double track all the way. First stop here is Luddinghall. This is very much a wayside station. It's not a halt, but it's a wayside station. It will only be used by trains. Well, I'll talk about that in just a second, actually. We have this magnificent Luddinghall viaduct here. That then starts to climb up into the hills, and our next stop down here at Wundingham. Now, this station is actually going to be a bit more of a main station. So because of that, I'm actually going to do a little bit of tweaking here. I want to make sure that these platforms are long enough for the trains that we want to use on this line. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to extend these platforms slightly. Not a huge amount, just enough. So I'm going to do that, and then that, and then on this side I'm going to, whoops, change the wrong one. And then on this side I'm going to just have it copy, even though on the other side there is a size difference, but that's fine. I'm also, as a result of that, going to move this shelter to this side, and then I'm going to replace this side with just normal platform. I wish this platform set, I think this is the same team that made BR trains actually originally, but I wish there were more options for what to use. That might be something that's coming in the future, who knows. Out of Luddinghall then, we come back down the hill, we go into this little valley, but then we do start climbing again. This is why this is kind of a main line as well, because there's lots of climbing and elevation changes and things. We come to arguably the most densely built station on this section of the line here at Danville. Again, very much a work in progress type thing. Oh, there is a signal there. Again, I don't know what to use for heritage stations. I like this BR station set, but I think I need to use something else. So these might change in the future. I was tempted to build another station somewhere around here for one of these places, but I think this is a long enough run. We then come to Wanwell, which is where things get a little bit more interesting. We have this branch line that comes off here and heads down this way. There is a station now here at Dartston. There'll be a bus that takes people into town. We have a passing loop here at Sartburg, and then we have the terminus up here at Teaburg Springs Pier. More on that in just a moment. This way, the main line continues. Double track, of course. And we have a station here at Funfingford. I hate that name, Funfingford. The town name might get changed. Will it let me build anything on these platforms? It will. Hurrah. Alright, in that case, we're going to move that to there. And we are going to build, because again, this is kind of like a town-ish station. So we're going to try and make it look a bit like that. We then climb up again a little bit, and a little bit more. We've got some bridges here, and again, I was debating whether to build a station here at Little Drumpool Bridge. I haven't for now, but that might change in the future. You could say there was one here, but it closed and then never reopened. We do have one over here, though, at Grendwood, and already I'm thinking move this one to over here. So I'm actually just going to do that. I was going to say this is the other densely built up station, but it is no more, because we're going to move it over to this side here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. We're then going to drag this all the way along, probably actually the entirety of the way, although we are going to make that a downslope. We're going to make that an upslope, and then we're going to do this. Reason being is we can then put a signal there and a signal there. And as a result of that, we can remove that one for sure, and I guess that one as well. Okie dokie. Tempted to actually make this an island platform. We have quite a few island platforms. You can see the Great Central influence creeping in with the island platforms, which I'm kind of a fan of. I need to go back to the Great Central. It's been too long. I've been to a couple of heritage railways in the last few years and reminisced about what it was like to go to them. My poor partner, dragging her along to all of these as well. But yeah, I need to go back to the Great Central because that's the last one where it's been a while since I last actually rode it. Then we come to this, which is, again, quite interesting. This here, I'm just going to put that signal there, move that one to there, get rid of this, and then put a shunt signal there. This is where it connects to the main line, or this is where it connects to the main line. So it'll come across like this, and then from here it can access all 4 tracks. Now, obviously for this, it will only really use the lower speed tracks, which would be the 2 on the left here. I don't think we'll ever have express, because that's, first of all, quite a long crossover, and second of all, you can't actually reach it. So yeah, we're going to do that. But this is where it crosses over. Now, originally I was going to have these 2 stations operate as one, but I've decided to build its own station here, primarily because operation reasons. I don't want the train to try and cross over here to get into the station, and also because like Kidderminster, you've got Kidderminster and then you've got Kidderminster Town. So here we've got Fretford and we've got Fretford Old Town. I have pissed off Fretford to the point that I can't actually change any of this, but we don't really need to, so that's fine. I do need to do the speed limits and stuff. We'll come back to those in just a second. What was I talking about with trains? Actually, before that, what was I talking about with the pier? This is going to be a dock eventually, like most of my heritage railways, and from here you'll be able to get some sort of ship to Sundhead Cross, Tudworth, Taffingbourne Bridge, Preddingston, all that kind of thing, just to try and bring more passengers into the railway. It's 3 platforms. That might become necessary. Right now it's probably not. Originally I was just going to use these 2 and have this just be for decoration, but as you can see I've brought the 3rd one into use. I think it is going to be needed because what was I talking about with trains? We're going to have 2 types of train operating on the main line and then 2 types of train operating on the branch line. On the main line we're going to have an express train and we're going to have a stopping train. Now the stopping train is obviously going to stop at all stations. The express train is going to only stop here at Wandingham, here at Danville. Actually, maybe it'll skip out Wandingham. It'll just stop at Danville. No, it could stop at Wandingham as well, I suppose. We'll see about that. Definitely Danville. Definitely Wanwell Junction. And then also, in fact, that might be it up until Fretford. The stopper train will stop at all the stops. On the branch line, there will be a shuttle that operates between Wanwell and Teaburg Springs. It'll just go back and forth all day. There will also be a train that starts at Sunhattan, runs through Wanwell to Teaburg Springs, and then back. The operation for these, I think every 2 hours maybe there'll be an express. Every hour there'll be an all-stopper on this, and then for the branch, every 2 hours there'll be a train that goes straight through, and then every 30 minutes maybe there'll be a shuttle. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to go away and think about it. But what we do need right now are timings, and what I've also just realised is we don't actually have a shed anywhere for any of this. So what I'm tempted to do, actually no, because that won't work. Yeah, what am I going to do with the shed? That was supposed to be what this siding was for as well. The shed could go in here. and then trains use the turn back. Maybe it goes here, and we'll use... That's not a bad idea, you know. Let's try that. So we'll remove that. We'll remove that. We'll put the shed there, or the depot, I should say. And then I will use this. Which one of these? That one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one. There we go. And then I need to cover that up again. Which it might let me do, might not let me do. It's going to be troublesome, isn't it? I think it's just the way the graphics work. I wouldn't read too much into that. Cool. We're then going to, for all of these, have these share. I do have to kind of get a move on here. This episode is going to be incredibly long by the time it's finished. And we're just going to say if entry direction is from the front, then speed restriction 5 miles an hour. I'll probably put one from the back as well. If entry direction is from the back, then 2 miles an hour. It's gone to 1. Can I do it at 3? Yeah. I think there's like a rounding issue on that or something. It's done that to me before. We're also going to get these ones to share. Because why not? Whoops. There we go. This side, we're going to get all of these ones to share. Because these are just going to be simple denies. We don't need anything more than that. Of course, I chose the same one. And there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And then, as I said, yeah, this is going to be a simple deny. And to be honest, I can also go over to Fretford, which is over here, and get these 3 to also share with these. Like so. Nice. Somewhere around here, there will be another signal. Possibly, I mean, this one here, definitely, yeah, 15 miles an hour. The other question I have is this line here going to be 25 miles an hour, or is it going to be 40? Maybe the express can run at 40 and the stopper will go at 25. So if I was to put a signal there, I need to come up with a grouping for this as well. So I'm just going to do this quickly. We're going to talk about trains really quick, and then we're going to put a cut in and come back in a sec. So somewhere new, I think this is called the Twin Docks line. Yeah, Twin Docks. It's what it's called on the plan. So we'll just for now call it the Twin Docks line. And then we're going to have categories within this. So we're going to have main line, and we're going to have branch line. So main and branch. I'm going to change that just to say main. Of these, we're going to have express and stopping. Like so. And then for the branch, we're going to have shuttle and through. There. The reason I've done this is I want to make sure that if train group there is, and then somewhere on this, heritage is there, Twin Docks main stopping, then speed restriction will be 25. If train group is, and then I've got to find it again, express, then 40. I'm also going to make sure, so I'm going to do an or if train group is, and I'm just going to do the through for the shuttle trains as well. There. Cool. Now that's set up, I can go and do something similar. So over here, I'm just going to have all of these trains through here run at 15. Oops, not 115, 15. You are going to share with that. And then coming out of these. Oh, you're already in situ. Good stuff. I'm going to copy from this one and then say if entry direction is from the back, and then bring that up and bring that up. Cool. We're then going to get this one to copy from that one, and we're going to take out through because we're not going to have through trains running on that section. And then finally we're going to put a shunt signal here, and we're just going to have it be if entry direction is from the back, set speed to 25. If entry direction is from the front, then I guess 15 again. Okay, I need to go do the rest of this signaling, so I'm just going to go and do that after we've sorted out the train. But before that, we need to sort out the train. So click this, pin that, drag over here. I like the idea of having strong tender engines operating on this line. So we're not going to go unrealistic and have like an A3, because there is only one A3 in preservation, and Flying Scotsman is going to be a guest loco here. It's never going to actually run here normally. However, we've got things like the Black 5. We've got a Jubilee maybe, an 8F, a Q1, because why not have an ugly duckling? And we could have a K2 maybe, but that's probably asking a bit too much. And then in terms of diesels, I mean, a 31 isn't beyond the realms of reality. 47 definitely, because they were built back in the 60s. Maybe even a 52. We could say one of those got salvaged. Let's try, oh, a 9F as well. Oh yes, I'm very excited about these possibilities. Let's go with a Black 5 for this first one. The Black 5 could even operate the stopper. Nothing wrong with that. And then for carriages, we want Mark 1s. We're on the east side of the map again. Actually, no, we're more towards the south of the map now. So we could go with some southern green. Do you have any other liveries? Black and Lion. What's Black and Lion look like? Okay, we'll go with that. And then for Mark 1s, we'll go with maybe just standards for this. So we'll go with, actually, I can't use this one yet. I will put a Black 5 in, but you need the slowest. What I do, and people have asked me about this in the past, I use the slowest loco that I'm planning on using in order to get the timings. And the reason I do that is so that once I've got those times, if I then use a faster loco, the worst case scenario is it arrives early and it sits and waits. If I use a faster loco to gather the times and then use a slower one for the actual service, it'll run late, which means all my crossing points and things could get messed up. So I think the slowest loco I'm probably going to use on this is maybe even this Maunsell here, Z-Class 080. It's used for freight, but I think this could work quite well on this line as well. So I think I want to grab you, and then we're just going to stick some Mark 1s behind you. Don't really care what they look like right now. We're going to paint the loco, I guess Black and Lion again, and then for the passengers we're going to go with green, southern green. Then I'm going to set up this schedule. So for this, I'm going to say, obviously you're coming out of this depot here, so you're probably going to use this as your port of call, with that as your shed. Service if needed. No loading, no unloading. No loading, no unloading. Right. Then you're going to come up here and you're going to say unload. Not that one, sorry. No loading is what we're going to do. Yep. Then from here, we're going to do the all stopper. So we're going to go here. Here. And then down to here. Over to here. Up to here. And then is that the last? Oh no, there is one more, isn't there? Over here. Of course there is. I need to rename that station. And then finally over to here. Right. Let's rename the station now before I forget. So you're just going to be Little Drunpool Bridge, which I guess would be that. Oops. Donut. There we go. Right. Timetable. We're going to say all of this 25, because this is the stopper we're doing now. And then down here, these two here are going to be 5 and 5. And then for stopping times, I'm just going to do 1. Keep it nice and simple. And autofill. Once this is finished I'm going to take out the intermediate stops, up the speed limit to 40, and then run the autofill again. I'm also tempted to set up the shuttle just now, but I might leave it. The thing with the shuttle is it has to come out from the sheds over here, unless I build a little shed down here as well, which is also very tempting actually, to have a little shed thing here and maybe a little goods yard or something. Maybe I'll do that. I think right now the priority is just to get the main line up and running, and then we'll sort out the rest after. So I'm going to autofill this, and I'll see you on the other side with a complete schedule for the Twin Docks line. Okay, another 2 days later, and we are done. We're up and running. Everything is hunky-dory. We do have one little issue, which you might see here. This train, which I was about to say is full of passengers, it's not. It has passengers on board. It does have to sit at this signal for a couple of minutes, just until one of these trains here vacates the platform. I don't see a massive issue with that though. I think actually it's quite good to have at least one sort of timetabling anomaly like that. Besides that though, everything else worked really, really well. We have 4 different services operating on this line. I think that's how many I said in the last part. That was 2 days ago. I can't remember. But essentially, in fact, it's 3 days ago, thinking about it. Today's Friday. I'm pretty certain it was Tuesday when I recorded that last bit. Anyway, this episode's quite long, so I'm going to try and summarize this as quick as possible. We have 3 services that operate here out of Sunhattan Town. This is the Passover I was talking about. So this train here will leave. This train will come in and occupy that platform. We have 6 stopping trains operating out of these 2 platforms here, and they work on a rotation. If I actually get the timetable up in front of me, instead of guessing, I can tell you the exacts. So yeah, we have stopping trains coming out of these 2 platforms here. We have express trains coming out of these 2 platforms here. What are the express trains? Well, I'll tell you in just a second. This train here, I believe, is operating on a through service. Yes. That means if I head over to Wanwell, which is the real hub of this whole operation, over here, you'll see how this works. So again, we've got 4 platforms here. These 2 are for the branch. These 2 are for the main. There is a little bit of crossover that happens here, which again was due to a timetabling anomaly, but it actually got fixed quite easily. We also have a little shed down here as well that also is home to its own set of trains. But yeah, stopping services come through this upper set of platforms here and then head along the main line up to Fretford. The through services come down through this junction into these two platforms and then out onto the branch. However, every other service that comes back from Teberg Springs has to use this platform here that's currently unoccupied. The reason being is because of these two here, which are on the shuttle service. The shuttle goes specifically from Wanwell up to Teberg Springs and forms the opposite journey to the through trains. I'll talk more about that in just a second as well. We then have express trains that also start at Sunhattan. They come through here and then they head up to Thetford and back again. Now, in terms of frequency, the through trains are hourly. The stopping trains are hourly, but they operate on the half hour compared to the through trains. So, for example, where's a good example? 9:44 a.m. a through train comes through Wanwell, stops for 5 minutes, and then at 9:49 it departs out onto the branch. Half an hour later, a stopping train comes through on its way to Thetford. On the way back, I think they're actually 32 minutes apart, something like that. 35 minutes apart. So it's actually pretty close. I got very, very close. The shuttle trains also operate alternatively to the through trains. So a through train will come through, and then half an hour later, I love this as well, by the way, we've got synchronized departures. Half an hour after the through train comes through, one of these shuttle trains departs onto that line. And again, it works really, really well. The express trains operate every 2 hours. So, where's the first one? 9:41 is the first one. And then the next one is 11:41. And then 1:41. And then 3:41. And I believe that's the last one. Yes. So there are 4 express trains a day. They operate at 40 miles an hour compared to 25 miles per hour for the other services. And it works really well, like I said. The express trains leave 5 minutes before the next stopping train leaves. That gives it just enough time to... in fact, it doesn't even catch up with the through train. It arrives at Wanwell 6 minutes after the through train departs. So there isn't actually that much interactivity between trains, except for this one bit up here at Sunhattan, where occasionally one train has to wait for its predecessor to depart, and then it can come in. In terms of actual rolling stock that we have on this line, we've got an eclectic mix, I'd like to say, of steam and diesel. There's a little bit of fictitiousness going on, but for the most part, it's pretty realistic. So we have Twin Docks line. Let's go through them in order. So first of all, we have our timing train, the Maunsell Z-Class. That returns. That's operating stopping services. It's got the 5 standard opens and then a brake standard. We don't need to worry about the rolling stock itself, though, just the motive power. Then we've got our J70. Now, this is a fictitious one because obviously there are no J70s left in the world. They've all been scrapped. Sorry, Toby, but you had to go. Yeah, very sad. Whoops, did not mean to rename. Oh, yeah, actually, speaking of names, these, again, all have realistic names based on their class numbers. So there are some from pre-BR, and then there are loads from BR days. Third up, we have this one, which is also a stopping train. This is a Class 28, a Kobo, or Boko, if you're a fan of the railway series. Again, none of these, I don't think... So actually, one might have survived into preservation, thinking about it, at the East Lancs. But besides that, there are none around. Then we have this one here that operates, I believe, on a... Oh, no, this is stopping as well. And this is a Q1. Very nice. Ugly duckling. Then we have this one, which is a stopping train as well, which is a 31, which is... Which other railway did we have that had a 31? Was it the Lakeside? I think it might have been the Lakeside. Yeah. I think it's this one. Yes. Cool. Then a little bit further down again, we have this one, which is, I believe, an 8F. Yep. And this is on a through train, so that operates on the branch. Then we have this one, which is another 28, I believe. Yep, you're also on the through. Then we have another austerity, because again, it's the law, operating on through services. And then this one operating on through services, which is a Crompton. I wanted to go for the push-pull one, but I figured that they wouldn't really have that here. So we just went with the normal Crompton. Then we have the express trains, and these are the big boys. So we've got a Black 5, because again, you have to have a Black 5 operating somewhere on these lines. And these are much longer trains as well. This one is 8 carriages long. Then we have this one, which is a class 48, and this one is 7 carriages long. And I think it's that one that's currently purring in the shed. Yes, that's what we can hear there. And then we have this one, which I think is my favourite. This is a 9F, and it's got 9 carriages behind it as well. It's a very big beast, this one. Carrying lots of passengers. It has a total capacity of 443 passengers, which is, yeah, quite a lot. And then finally we have our other little shuttle trains. We have this one, which is a K2 class. None exist anymore. This is what James is based on, I believe. Actually, K2 I think is Edward. Yeah, that's Edward, not James. None exist anymore, sadly. You never know. One might get rebuilt one day. That's happening a lot at the moment, so it could happen. And then finally, I realised we didn't have any DMUs operating on any of my heritage railways. So we've got 2 bubble cars coupled together here. Numbers 55026 and 55029. The capacity of these is tiny, as you can see. Only 130 passengers. But it's operating on the branch. It's not even full right now, to be honest. Yeah, it's only like half full. We need more Mark 1 DMUs. I'm sure there used to be more. Maybe I'm misremembering. There's a lot of paces in the set now, but not a lot of anything else. But I'm fine with that too. They are getting added. That's the main thing. And that's it. It's all very good and very working right now, which makes me a little bit worried. Although this one was quite easy to do for the most part. The way I actually did the timetabling for this, I'll just explain that quickly. I started at Wanwell, and I did a through train from Sunhattan to Wanwell, up the branch and back. Then I did the shuttle to fit in between that, and it turned out actually that if they left half an hour apart, I've got 2 spreadsheets here, let me just find the right one. If they left half an hour apart, so the first one departs at 9:49, that's a through train, then the first shuttle of the day departs at 10:19, they actually pass perfectly at Sartberg here. Just as one arrives, the next one leaves. And it worked out really, really well. So I'm very happy with that. What can I hear? Is the DMU over here? No. I can hear something buzzing. No, it must be over here. Oh, it's there. There it is. Just arriving at Sartberg. I will eventually link these up to their towns so that people can actually travel. Especially, you know, Dartston here. Wanwell's a very good example. It just doesn't quite reach. So we will get that working. But yeah, once I got that side of it sorted, I put the stopping trains in between and then just threaded the expresses in between those. And I was expecting a real fight. And apart from one little bit where I had to make a minor adjustment, everything worked. So I was very, very lucky in that respect. And then, of course, we have the timetabling I can't say it anymore. Anomaly. There we go. My word. The timetabling anomaly with one train here. And it only happens every 2 hours. So it actually works out kind of okay. And I did also have a heart-in-mouth moment when I realised I had to get 6 trains through 2 platforms. But again, that worked out quite well too. So I think then I'm actually pretty well suited to take all of this methodology. I just cannot speak today. I don't know what's happened to me. Take this methodology and apply it to the Sanley Bay lines, which is next episode. And we can get a good service running here as well. I'm not going to talk too much about this until we actually get into the meat and bones of it. But right now, I'm very, very happy that I was able to get this up and running, along with all the other heritage lines as well. And you never know, we might increase the trains here even more. I think having 14 trains, though, operating on the line, just for clarity, that's 2 shuttle trains, 3 through trains, 3 stopping trains and 2 express trains per day, but each one of those groups has 1 extra train added to get that rotation that I talked about in my last tutorial video. So overall, there are 14 trains operating on this, if I show you, twin docks. 14. There we go. That's a lot of trains, especially for a heritage line. So I don't think this would exist in real life, but the Great Central does come close on galas. But even then, they don't have the full double track running like we do here. I think I said this before, earlier on, but I was tempted to have this go down to a single track at one point, but double track works fine for the whole length. Let's just say the M4J network was a little bit less. Let's shut everything down and ruin it for everybody. Yeah. Alrighty then, folks. That'll do for this episode. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. If you would like to have a name, your name in the game, or a line named after you, or anything like that, or even if you want to come on here and run your own trains one day, check out my Patreon and YouTube membership details in the description down below. Anything will help me out. So if you are able to commit, that would be awesome. Thanks in advance. Besides that, did I say drop comments down below with ideas for future episodes? If I didn't, then I'm going to say it again now. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. That really helps me out as well. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. We're actually approaching 2,000 subscribers. I think at the time of recording this, I am 70 away. I'm just getting my thing up to check. I am 70 away. So if you want to support the channel, but you can't, well, you can't commit to Patreon and YouTube membership, then subscribing is also a very, very good way to do that. And again, thank you in advance. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.